Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Past The Barb. Today is November 14th. I am your host, Adam Bartusek, and once again, sitting to my left is Mr. Cody Hahner.
Hello.
If you haven't noticed, we've moved Cody's mic closer to him. So if he sounds better now, let us know. If it was better before, then we can change it.
We can. I will adjust.
We are open for feedback on Cody's mic placement.
Mm-hmm.
And then down at the bottom here, we have the wild game cook, Mr. Ryan Pinkalla.
I'm holding down the whole bottom of the screen today.
It's a big responsibility down there.
We are without Will Stolski, like we mentioned last podcast. I think Will is out. Do you remember where he said he is, Pink? He's out in the mountains hunting right now. Is he in Montana, or did he?
I believe he's on doing the general deer tag hunt in Montana right now.
Sweet.
And
so,
based on the fact that he's not here, I'm guessing he hasn't killed one yet.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good, pretty good inkling that he hasn't killed one yet. So that's where we're at. We're gonna get rolling here in a sec, but first, I got a couple, just a little bit of business we're gonna dive into first, since now officially the podcast has released. So for those of you wondering when this will be coming out, it will come out weekly. Wednesday mornings is when you can expect it. And then Wednesday, if you're a YouTube person, you can go over to the Past The Barb YouTube and follow us there. You can just watch the screen record there, and that will be up at around 11 a.m. So that'll just be a little bit different. If you want to listen to it earlier, go to Apple, Spotify, or whatever you listen to a podcast on, and you can get it there. Our email, if you want to contact us, is pastthebarbpodcast@gmail.com. And that's where you can get a hold of us for future weigh-ins. If you have certain topics you want us to talk about, anything like that, reach out. You can always do it on our social medias as well. But yeah, please rate, subscribe. We're not going to beg for it too often, but we're just getting started. So if you can give us a little boost this holiday season, we'd appreciate it. Go subscribe to the YouTube, get us over 1,000 subs here quick, and life will be good, right, boys?
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's do it.
All right, perfect. So what we are going to dive into first, like we always do, is current events. And I think it wouldn't be fair if we didn't kick off this episode with after what we did last time. I hand up, I brought the Packers back, and by saying they were dead, I actually listened to my own statement last week of the Packers are dead, and I was like, well, you idiot, why did you do that? Because Cody, I'll let you take this, man, but I am terrified of that running attack now that they did that. So they're back.
You fool. We did it.
There's a storm brewing.
There's a storm brewing, and I guarantee this is the year.
Oh,
you couldn't even stop yourself there.
This is the year, folks. You know what? We've tricked you all. We've demolished the Viking fans year after year, and they've always had the last laugh in the NFC Championship game just before in the Final Four to go and win the Super Bowl. But this is the year where they think, man, we're 8-1. We're at the tippy top. We just beat the Bills in a heart-thumping, heart-crushing game. But here come the Packers. One Watson, one Aaron Rodgers with a confidence like I've seen in the past 2 years, an MVP Hall of Fame through the roof candidate. It's showtime, boys. It's showtime. We've got two stellar games ahead of us, dude. Just getting warmed up. We're going to go into Tennessee. We're going to show some dominance there. And then after Tennessee, decent rival, we have Philly. That's where we make our mark. And then it's Vikings.
Yeah,
we might even lose to you.
I will say, watching the Packers yesterday was honestly, I think all year everybody's been saying, why aren't they running the ball? They have AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones and everything, and they finally did it, and they looked really good. And they took a lot of pressure off of Rodgers. I still stand by my thing. I don't think Rodgers is what he once was, but your running backs are
ridiculous.
so good.
You're ridiculous for saying that.
Your running backs are so good, but I am very scared of that running attack because I don't know if we can stop that run.
I mean, people love to pounce on Aaron all the time for being like, I mean, they make it out to be whatever it's going to be. Like whatever reaction he has on the field, they have something negative to say about it. Like, oh, he overreacted. Like, it's an NFL game. Like you work your whole, like, this is your job. Of course, you're the best at it. You should be pissed off that you just threw an interception. They're like up in arms about it. And then like they're mad that he's like yelling at, like he's screaming at LaFleur about like, why are we not running the ball on 3rd and 2 or 4th and 2? 4th and 2 to like go and prominently win the game with a field goal. And it was just like a flub of a play. And he's like, Matt, run the fucking ball. And LaFleur just like turns away sheepishly. Like, dude, I love it. I love that there's still like the fire in him. Like that's so awesome. That has been like the intriguing thing to me, even when they're playing bad, to see like ultimate fire out of that guy and like other competitors on the field. Like that's the only thing that's kind of kept me going, kind of held me in there.
No, it seemed like they kind of turned it around. We'll see what happens the next few weeks. They have a tough schedule, but I would not be surprised seeing like how bad. I mean, the Bucs don't really look that great. The wild card kind of looks wide open. The NFC East is going to end up eating itself.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if we see a Packers wild card spot, and I would not be surprised if all of a sudden we see a Vikings team playing them in the playoffs. And I think it would be really.
I would love to see it. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But, I mean, with that said, I'm going to dive into one thing I wanted to touch on quick, and I touched on it last week, and now that it has happened, the Vikings somehow beat the Buffalo Bills, and they somehow found a new way to win. They do that every week this year, and I just would like it on record. I am fully in on this team. I think we can somehow win a Super Bowl. And I am also very fully aware that this team is going to break my heart in some way or fashion that I have
already
absolutely never
seen.
And I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to be so exciting because every single game they
meteoric
play,
fall.
like, oh, dude, I saw this meme on Twitter the other day, and it's so perfect. It's like every game is the first script, and you're like, oh, wow, I'm so excited to watch my Vikings team play today. They're so good. Because they score right away. And then after that, it's like for 2 quarters, it's just kind of jockeying position, not really looking that good, and we're getting beat. And then the 4th quarter, you're like, well, it's over. We're going to lose. And then they miraculously win somehow. And you're like, wow, that was fun. So I don't know how they're doing it. The only thing, like at this point, I don't really think you can say it's dumb luck because especially as Vikings fans, we're not like that doesn't happen to us. It feels like Kevin O'Connell has got a new vibe going on out there, and Kirk isn't even playing as good as he has the last few years, and they're winning games, and Justin Jefferson is by far the best wide receiver in the NFL right now.
Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Dude,
And
I was watching that play.
It's just so fun.
I was watching that play on the phone with like my best friend, and he's talking about how he's hungover from like, I don't know, some country band from the night before. And he's like, oh, and we're a little bit delayed. He's like, oh my God. I'm like, what? Oh my God. What was that catch? That was the most absurd thing I've actually watched. Like an individual play. I've never seen something like that. I mean, the OBJ catch, it's like a toss-up between the two. That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's just fun to watch. And like, to be completely honest, and like, if you follow me on Twitter on Sundays, you will see me tweet my heart out. You can follow me, and we will go through it together, Vikings fans. I mean, we will make it through this, but maybe lose like 10 years off of our lives this year, but it's fun. And for the first time, and this is where I'm going to get killed. For the first time watching a Vikings team since that Keenum year, and actually probably more the Favre year. The Keenum year always was kind of like, is Keenum really going to do it for us? But like this is since the Favre year, 09, where like you're watching and just like at the end of games, even when they're down, you're like, well, they're going to win. So, and they keep doing it. And then they did it in Buffalo. And like, even if they lose to the Cowboys next week, I'm going to be like, well, whatever. Like, no big deal. Like, it's just weird. So I just wanted it on the record. I am very much all in. I am very excited. It's going to be fun. It's always fun when your team is doing really good and you can get on the wagon and like, let's really go. So yeah,
if nothing else, that was probably the most exciting game of the season so far for any team. I mean, that was a hell of a game. That was
unbelievable.
Yeah,
it was so much fun.
And
like, it was an hour of sitting on my couch.
Well, I mean, just the
last
2 minutes of the game. The last 2 minutes was unreal.
Unreal.
Yeah. And like the whole thing started, we all forget the whole thing started with a 1-play drive, an 81-yard Dalvin Cook touchdown.
Yeah.
He just ran it in, and you were like, oh, cool. And then like it just everything kept falling. So yeah, that was really fun. And I mean, we aren't typically a sports podcast here, but I think all of us in the outdoors watch sports. Up here in the Midwest, you know, you're a Packers fan, you're a Vikings fan, or, you know, Wild fan, whatever you might be, we're going to talk about it. And what's going on with the Vikings is just wild. So
yeah, it's like roles have completely reversed.
And I'm just
like what you're saying, like where even if they're down by like 17, you're like, oh, we got Aaron, we're fine.
Yeah, and it's crazy you can say that about Kirk.
Like 35 seconds left, no timeouts. Way too much time. And it happened. Like they would make like magic happen. Like it's crazy. It's crazy how that happens.
You can't bet against them.
It's been fun. It has been fun. So anyways, we'll move on from the sports talk anyways. I'm sure we'll check in next week on how things are going. But
don't break my heart.
Ryan, what do you got going on here? Oh, he got muted again. Right on cue. This happens. If you didn't know, Ryan has bad internet connection and he clicks in and out fairly often. So we just learned to tell him pretty quickly now.
Unreal. But I'll try to go quick. Came across this one. So state of Washington put out I mean, this has been over the course of the year, but recently they kind of put this news story together. So basically this year throughout like the summer open water season, eight official state records have been registered in the state of Washington, which as far as I know is probably the most of any state in the country for sure, especially in 1 year. A lot of them are kind of like various saltwater species, different types of rockfish that have been broken. So some of them are like a little more obscure species, but there's actually a really sick story. The state record tiger trout was broken in the state of Washington. A 27.42 pound tiger trout.
What?
Broke the IGFA world record.
Dude, that's huge.
Insane.
Those are
insane.
It's a hybrid between a brook trout and a brown trout. They're sterile hybrid.
Yeah, I was gonna say when Weeb and Jay and them were doing 39 hours, that was like one of the kicker fish. Basically, it was like
and they're like
catch a tiger trout, and they were like 18 inches, weren't they?
And a lot of them these are like stocked lakes. But this particular one, crazy story here. So the lady that caught it actually caught it off the dock at their cabin on like a night crawler, and the previous record was caught the year prior by her son off the same dock, a 24-incher or 24-pounder.
Oh wow! So they got a good dock.
Son and the mother back to back went state record tiger trout off the same pier, like at their summer cabin or whatever. So Loon Lake in Washington is apparently pretty lit for tiger trout.
Oh my gosh!
Might need to go there.
Yeah, but anyway, pretty wild. 8 state records. Like I said, it was a couple species of flounder. Some different rockfish species, but that the biggest one was that tiger trout. And I actually got the specs on the fish. It was a 35.5-incher with a 26 and an 1/8 inch girth.
That is absolutely
the pic's unreal. You can look it up.
Unbelievable.
It's hell of a fish, and sounds like Washington's popping off. So
yeah, I will. I need to figure out how to get pictures from my screen up on this screen again while I'm recording.
Yeah.
But I will figure it out so that we're able to show people that. But yeah, look up the Washington State record tiger trout. You'll see the picture. I looked it up before. Anyways, going on to our next one. Oh, I had another topic I wanted to touch on, and I just want to see kind of how the room feels on this. This is just a very general life and society type thing. Are we in or out on daylight savings? And did we technically enter daylight savings or leave daylight savings? I guess maybe I should lead off with that.
The last couple of years, I've just kind of like denounced it, and because I just don't even change my time anymore on my truck and like my microwave and stuff. So I'm like, well, they said it was daylight savings, but it's usually lands on a weekend. So I'm like, I'm usually fishing or hunting, and I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's light out. And then I look at my phone. I'm like, oh, it's actually 8 o'clock, and I'm already adjusted to it. But daylight savings, absolute joke. I don't know what guy back in time thought this is a great idea. This is an absolute atrocity to science.
The only thing I will say is every year in like October, I get really pissed at myself.
Is up in arms.
Every year in October, I just get more and more pissed at
Blasphemy.
myself because I can't wake up in the morning. And then this happens, and I can wake up in the morning. So I don't know, but
did we go backwards or forwards?
I'm just
time?
this exact same amount of late, no matter what.
Yeah, like I'll look at.
I'm always 10 to 20 minutes late if you know me,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really affect my life whatsoever. Apparently,
no. I just do adjust. I'm like, oh, it's an extra hour, and then that hour goes an hour and 5 minutes past.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yep.
I'm like, oh no, shit.
And then you have like zero excuse. People are like, you had this whole extra hour, and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I wake up, I got 2 different colored socks on. Like, I don't even have an undershirt over this sweatshirt. I'm just rolling into work. I'm like, yeah. How was your morning? I don't know. I took a shower. I took the kids to school. I'm like, yeah, me, Dad. Just woke up.
But at least it gives you something to talk to those people at work about. Like, damn, that daylight savings, though, man, unreal,
killer.
Unreal.
Killer.
Okay, well, good to know. Okay, everybody's out on it. I should be out on it, I guess. Anyways, Cody, what do you have going on in the lovely state of Wisconsin?
All right, so right now we are on basically the eve of the biggest tradition in Wisconsin heritage. That is the Wisconsin deer hunting opener. And that is this weekend. And I got like everybody in the state of Wisconsin, if you hunt or not, knows about this season. Like for families, this is a huge tradition. People get together. Like I don't know very many states where it's like, I guess Minnesota is pretty big with it, but Wisconsin is like big deer.
Yeah, ours is
hunting.
big. Your guys is like state holiday.
Huge.
Like
it's
literally.
like, I mean, people shut down, sports teams shut down, schools shut down for this holiday. It is unbelievable. But I got a super funny email, just a general email that came up, and I'm like, what is this? And the email, for those of you that don't know, there is a small elk herd that they try to introduce into Wisconsin, which hasn't really taken off. And Ryan, how many is it? Is it like 200 to 300 elk?
Well, I think it's several hundred at this point. That you're talking like the Clam Lake herd areas. Yeah, it was like a reintroduction, and I mean it's growing to like a sustainable level, but it's not like they're not like all over the place. It's pretty small.
Like it's basically, I mean, it's not been like flourishing and taken off. Like these are
it's
still
a slow
very
process for sure.
Protected animals. And I got an email that said, don't accidentally shoot an elk this hunting season. And it is a deer hunting season. This is from the DNR.
Unreal.
And it was hilarious. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is hilarious. And it's like,
does that picture side by side? Please tell me that picture side by side.
It does. And it says how to identify an elk. Adult elk.
Oh boy.
Adult elk are larger than adult deer. And I'm like,
check that box.
Like, all right.
That helps.
Spot the difference in antlers. Okay. All right. So, and this all sprung from this. It was a hilarious story. This like innocent lady
Yes.
last year in the hunting season. I'm gonna read this article. It goes, a Makawanago woman has been issued a $6,150 Makawanago
town,
woman. That's the town. Magwanago. There we go. There we go, Magwanago.
Yeah.
Woman has been issued a $6,150 citation for mistakenly killing 2 elk while deer hunting. Not one, but 2.
Just smashing them.
Were they both?
Smashing them.
Were they both?
And they're
bulls?
both bulls.
Oh, she's like, you ain't even gonna believe this. Look at his buck.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, like, exactly. Pink, you're not gonna believe this. Look at this buck.
He's on like Instagram Live. Like, yo,
so she's
harvest.
Oh my gosh. It's like I read the story and I was just dying thinking of the circumstance of what was going on. So I don't know what her level of expertise in the woods is, but she was hunting with her fiance, which is across their property on this special place, and they're hunting, different spots or whatever. And she sees movement in the brambles. Movement.
Gotta have it.
Fires 2 shots.
Right? You shoot movement.
Fires 2 shots.
Gun safety, right?
She saw antlers. Fires 2 shots, and the deer didn't go down. Picks up her rifle again, aims closely, bears down, shoots a shot. The deer doesn't go down. Shoots another shot. Finally falls. Walks up.
Mowing them down.
There's a spike bull, and I'm looking at the picture. It looks like a fork bull.
Oh my God.
I mean, like the title should have been for this DNR issued. It should have been something like, don't mistake elk, deer, or cows while you're out hunting this fall. Like if you don't know animal. It's not even a state animal. Like the difference is, if you don't know the difference between an elk and a deer, an elk is literally at your shoulder blade.
It's also an elk.
It's an elk.
Elk.
I can only imagine how this conversation went down between these two. Could you imagine?
This is the first time the guy takes her out to the hunting land. He's like, here we go.
Maybe it's
making
not
our
this
tradition.
Way, but my mind
Thank
just
you,
went
muted.
so many different directions. I'm like, she's like, he's probably like sitting there like, you shot 4 times. Did you miss? No, I got 2 of them. You got 2? You got 2? Really? She's like, yeah, they're both bucks. Oh shit, they're both bucks. That's not good. All right. We can handle this. We can handle this. All right. Like, how big are they? Huge. Rolls up. All right.
The size of the cow we drove by in Somerset.
Well, we don't have to like technically like take them in anymore. Like, I'll just throw my tag on that one, I guess. I don't. Rolls up. And he sees 2 gigantic horse-looking figures on the ground, side by side, from a herd that is just finally giving away a tag or 2. And it's been widely criticized for the failure of this elk herd and just slowly making its way, and we just... It was hilarious. Absolutely. I mean, she called herself in. She paid the fine. Total, like, had no idea. But oh my god, it was hilarious.
Just so messed up though that there's people that wouldn't even know the difference between that.
Oh, I shot a bear. No, that's a black lab.
Yeah. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I mean that is incredible. Like obviously we poke fun at it, and it's like yes, everybody should go hunting, and we want everybody to get in outdoors, but please just get a
Oh
little
my
bit of
God.
Just know what
education
you're
before you go out there
after,
and shoot
man.
at
It's not even the
something.
same
Yeah.
species.
Like
Yeah,
it doesn't even.
not
I
even
mean, it's not
close.
even on the same like
Oh my-
dimension. It's
Yeah.
Blows
not
my
even
mind. That kind of stuff happens every year. You hear
all the
about stuff
time.
like that.
All the time.
Well, Pink, didn't you say you had something similar you wanted to talk about, right, with that elk herd?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, kind of. Yeah. So, yeah, on a related note, so they do the herd that's there it's at a level now. I think since 2018 they've been doing a like a limited entry hunt. They give out like 4 tags. I think it's 8 tags, but like half of them go to the tribes that are in that area, and then the other 4 are for like any resident of Wisconsin can apply for the tag, but they only give out 4 tags, so it's a pretty difficult one to draw. And I think it's just a true random. Do you know, Cody? Is it just a random draw?
I think it's a random
Once in a
draw.
lifetime random draw.
Yeah, I don't think there's points or anything
Okay.
that goes
So-
along with it.
Yeah, so for like since 2018 they've been doing this limited entry hunt, and this year all 4 of the tags were filled. Like the hunt I believe was in like just at the middle of October there, and it's like if you draw the tag, it's an any weapon hunt. Pretty much everybody rifle hunts or whatever. But this year, of the 4 that were killed, one, I'm pulling her up right now because I got some notes on it here. But the one was the first one, and they're calling it the first one in the modern era. So basically, since the elk population has been reintroduced to the state, that has been harvested with archery equipment, which is kind of sick. So the guy drew the tag and then opted to bow hunt. The crazy thing is, so like you can look it up. There's a lot of news articles on it right now. It's a nice bull. Nothing like crazy huge, but just like a real solid 6x7 bull, like kind of a small frame. But the guy that drew the tag found out that he was like drew that while he was on I think a doll sheep or a mountain goat hunt in Alaska this summer. And it's just crazy that like I'm sure tons, like thousands and thousands of people are applying for this tag, and this guy happened to be
Literally winning the lottery.
winning the lottery. And he is on, so this bull that he just shot was his number 25 of his Super Slam 29. So for people that don't know, a Super Slam is killing all 29 big game species in North America, which is like an unbelievable feat. Like not that many people accomplish this. Like one, it's just unbelievable to accomplish, and just like financially, I can't even imagine what
financially
you're into.
and having the time to be able to do all this and successfully doing it without having like painstakingly sacrificing years and years figuring it out. Like that's unbelievable.
Right. And like to have already knocked down like all these different sheep species and stuff, which are some of the hardest tags in the world to get. And all this stuff. And then he draws probably arguably one of the most difficult elk tags to get in the world, is like a Wisconsin bull tag. And and then on top of it, what blew my mind when I was reading the article was that this bull that he shot was for his Super Slam, like his first Rocky Mountain elk. So like it's not like he'd hunted Colorado and killed like other bulls there. Like this is his first Rocky Mountain species elk that he got was in Wisconsin.
That's crazy.
Even after already taking 24 of the 29.
All right. I need to collect this guy's tears or something.
I do need a partner for the Minnesota Bass Nation Team Trail next year. You seem like you'd be a good co-angler if you would like to bass.
Dude's got some mojo, man. I don't know.
Hit me up, dude.
Make 5 casts. That's all I require.
Yeah. Sit in the back seat. I'll bring you whatever you want.
Just take a look at the map. Just play around with my graph. If waypoints
just
end
point,
up showing up,
just point.
Yeah.
I did something to your graph. What is that? What did I do to it? Oh, that's a waypoint. That's
Oh.
a waypoint.
Well, we're rocking on that all day. Yeah. So yeah,
No,
I don't know.
that's incredible.
Crazy.
Pink, do you know with that herd and
Unreal.
everything, have they seen them? Have they like anybody seen them close to Minnesota, like over on that edge? You know, I'm not obviously as up to date on that stuff as you guys are. Have they
So
showed up more or spread more, or where are they mainly located?
They're slowly spreading. You know, as far as I know, like I actually have some family over by like Ladysmith area, and
That's
like I go over there and we see them, which is pretty cool. And that's like south of Clam Lake area. So it's kind of like the reintroduction, and then I think they've just slowly kind of in areas kind of created smaller herds around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't, like I said, I don't know what that herd's sitting at now, but it's pretty sick to be able to like go to Wisconsin and like see some elk and, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future there'll be a much bigger population there, and they'll manage it a little bit differently. But I mean, it's cool that it's at a place now where they're actually allowing people to hunt, and people are being successful. So, and if it's anything like Minnesota, you know, we got that herd up in the northwest part of the state, and they kill some freaking giant bulls up there. Like I know that one that lady killed last year was like over 400, just an insane bull, like out of Minnesota too, just unreal. So
no, that's super cool. Once again, I didn't have too many outdoor related things, but I just wanted to pop into two modern things going on right now for the everyday person. Number one, this is just a PSA to anyone listening to this podcast. I do really much like playing Modern Warfare 2. I said that terribly. I very much enjoy playing video games, especially when new Call of Duties come out. Modern Warfare 2 is out. I have not been able to play very much lately, but Warzone starts this week, and I need a new squad. So if anybody
he's looking to drop with some new boys,
if anybody would like to drop into, I don't even know what the name of the new place is. Me and Alton Jones will be playing, and we need a couple people who might be kind of cool and want to play. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys got anything like random or weird that like you guys get into just to kind of get away from the outdoor world. Like that's just kind of my like. Go chill, bro. Have a good time with my buddies. So I get being committed too, but like when you stare at a computer and edit for 30 hours, it's kind of nice to go stare at a TV and
stare at a computer.
Are you?
Yeah. I guess I don't sound very outdoorsy right now.
Are you still balling out with Ronnie Moore?
Yeah. Well, Ronnie got obsessed with Apex now, so I can't get him back over to Call of Duty. It's unfortunate, but yeah. Jake is getting a new Xbox, so he can play with Jake, my old roommate Jake. So he'll be there too. We just need a new squad. So yeah, if anyone wants to slide in DMs. And then also, Cody, you can't ruin this for me because I haven't gotten to watch the episode from last night yet because of I was just up late, honestly, working on this podcast.
You brought it up.
Yeah, so this is what I wanted to know, because I'm gonna watch the new episode this week, and then I'm gonna watch a new one next week. What I want to hear from people who listen to this podcast is, do people want us to do a Yellowstone recap? Because and we can put it
with the people. I feel our listeners.
Yeah, if you want us to do it, we can give some little stuff, and we'll do it at the end. So if like
you're gonna make me start watching this, aren't you?
I'm gonna make you start watching it.
I can't believe you don't.
It is great. It is a very good TV show.
What do you mean you can't believe I don't?
Pink doesn't watch like.
I apologize to all the people out there. I don't watch it, so I'm starting at ground zero if we do this.
That's fine. Well, that'll be even better, to be honest. We'll have them just start in season 5. Yeah. So I'll just give what
I can't start. I can't start at the beginning of that.
But anyways, if anybody would like to see that, please let us know. We'll do a Yellowstone recap every week while the new episodes are coming out. At the end of the episodes, just 10 or 15 minutes, and we'll like heavy say, if you don't want spoilers, turn the podcast off. So I just want to know if people want that.
This will have to be like Ozark, where I didn't watch it, and then I just came to your house and watched the finale, and I was like, that was sick.
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
He did actually do that, and it was a really good episode. It was a good finale.
It was the one where they blew that chick's face off.
Yeah. Yep.
He was like, great show.
I was like, damn. This show's hard.
Reminds me of a couple times I've been in the Lake of the Ozarks, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I can see why people watch it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll hear plenty of Cody Lake of the Ozark stories in the coming months. But my last thing I was just going to touch on really quick, and not even related to kind of funny, just honestly more of just like kind of holy shit thing. I every year, you get those like past events on Facebook or whatever. Like 5 years ago, you were doing this. 5 years ago today, the first video I ever edited in the outdoor industry, like anything, full video for Team Yukon Outdoors, was posted. And it was like super mind blowing to me every year when I see those like back in time things, thinking like where I am now. Like I'm super lucky and have been really gotten some really great circumstances and really great people to put me in great spots. But how was that only 5 years ago?
Isn't that
it feels
crazy,
like
dude?
it was like
Doesn't that seem
22
like so
years
long?
ago.
Mhm.
Like 5 years ago was not very long ago.
Yeah, that is wild. Because I remember watching some of those back, like I know Griff was in. I don't know if this was the video, but Griff was in one. I know when you were
Yeah.
doing that TYO stuff where you guys like met up with them and like it was like a nighttime like weed bite thing or whatever. And I didn't know Griff. Like that was the first time I ever even like heard his name or whatever. Was saw that video, and now it's crazy that it's like, because it seems like now I've known him a super long time, and if that was like only about 5 years ago, that's pretty wild.
Yeah,
So.
it's just kind of crazy. I was like the first video I ever edited. So like anybody who's trying to get into something or get in the outdoor industry, like I literally started editing videos 5 years ago. I never edited a video before. Like, and I went out to do it full time 2.5 years ago. Just kind of taught myself. So it's literally nuts. So and every time I see that, it just blows my mind. So
Stuff changes
Dude,
fast, man.
It does. It changes really fast.
It's like Ryan, like I mean, not to say like 5 years ago on the opposite spectrum, like I remember fishing, the clubbies at Stevens Point against you.
Yeah.
And that seems like 25 years ago.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. It's really not that long ago.
It's not that long ago at all. Like that was, if people don't know, Ryan and I fished on the same fishing team together at Stevens Point. And believe it or not, we are brought back together.
Crazy.
But it was unbelievable. And there was a bunch of our good buddies and some of the best friends that I have that fished on that team. Like,
dude, I agree. Like, isn't that crazy how it was like, I mean, I'm sure there were guys that were there after us.
Yeah.
That have done some like stuff too. But it's like, it seemed like that squad of like 4 years of dudes.
Yeah.
Has really done a lot. Like,
a lot.
It's crazy to like you said, it seems like it's a million years ago, but everyone's doing some pretty wild stuff that we were there with. So.
Yeah. Like Connor Graham fishes the opens. Sobey was a part of that Stevens Point group.
Sobey was there too. That's what's crazy. He didn't even graduate. If people didn't know, Sobey dropped out of college.
No, Connor and Sam were partners in the tournaments. And like even my first year there, like it was holy crap. Like, because Ryan, you graduated, I think, a year past me, maybe, or were you the same graduating class as me? Because I was 15.
Oh, he just muted. Shit. That was back in that was Ted Johnson, Jody Dirks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I was a year behind you, so I was.
Yeah.
But like,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, like the first 2 years I was there, so it would have been probably year like.
Oh my gosh!
There, like every tournament was like 20 to 25 boats.
It was
and
insane.
It was tough. Like you had.
It was really tough. You had to show up and like fish.
And like and like I think I got super fortunate. Like I literally the first one that I fished, we actually won it, which was why I feel like people were like, okay, like you can hang out, Yep.
So I remember it graduated from Ted Johnson's house to then it was like the fighting Brian Kurt house. And then it got passed down to the Sam Sobiek, Connor Graham house. And then, we all left. Hilarious.
I think there's still like a really sick video floating around out there, that like trick shot video thing. I don't know.
Yes.
That is dope. That was that was the Sobe era house.
Yep.
That was a sick video. So if anybody can find that, Send it to us because I
I
have no
remember
idea what
seeing that video.
it was
I
good,
don't know
dude.
where it would be.
And
Yeah, it was good.
Sam edited that. It was probably one of his first like legit
Mhm.
edits that he did, like
Yeah.
that we put out somewhere, and it was dope.
That's sick.
But, yeah.
But anyways, in terms of timely news, do we have anything else we want to cover? Or are we all good, boys?
That was what I had, man.
Because if not, we are going to dive into a weigh-in segment that I think it'll go quicker than the last one. But it's the time of the season, Thanksgiving foods. And also, for the record, Ryan Pinkalla should kick the shit out of Cody and I in this one because he is a chef.
I am terrible at this.
So this one is going to be very interesting because this is a hotly debated topic, what the best Thanksgiving foods are. And if you didn't listen to our last one, it was the worst types of fishermen. And just like we've said with everything, we like to have fun. We're making jokes. Obviously, everybody enjoys outdoors. We all have a good time, and we all like to be able to laugh at each other. But this one, much more serious than the last one. And fight to the death. Best Thanksgiving foods. And if you're wrong, you're gonna get in trouble. So we haven't gotten a winner from our first one yet because it got put out. And what we will do with these is we're gonna put out a graphic of kind of what everyone chose. We're gonna put out a poll, and we need people to vote on it. It'll be on Instagram. Probably on the Wednesday we release the episode, maybe Thursday, but you'll be able to go vote there, and that's how we'll decide winners. But like I said, we don't have any winners heading into this one, so I'm thinking the only thing that's fair is Pink has to get the middle pick because that one sucks.
All right, fine.
That's definitely
But
fair.
I do have to say, we don't have any like stakes yet for this. It's like,
we also
if you win, or is it like if you lose?
Yeah, I mean, we could keep a
feel
running
like if you-
tally
I
all
think-
year.
I think losing has to.
I feel like losing has to have something more. Like if you win, I guess that's just cool. But it's like if you're the bottom one,
Yeah.
I feel like we
there's
should
gotta be
just keep
some
a
sort of-
running tally all year or something of the winners, and at the
Mhm.
end of the year, maybe there's a punishment.
just an annual punishment.
Just an annual punishment, like a
Failure of the
fantasy
whole
football,
squad.
like a fantasy
Yes.
football
Yes.
one. And maybe we won't count this one against Will because he's not here. Or
No,
we
it
just-
counts. It
Yeah.
counts.
Yeah.
So he's just a
Yep.
scratch.
It's just like fantasy football. If you
Will's-
don't set your lineup, you're out.
You're
You
you're
lose.
out. He could've
So what?
sent
I just
something
put
in.
on the graphic.
said
Will I
something.
just have a dash through all his, or I just put different vegetables?
Sorry.
Yeah.
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 Cranberry sauce.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just put different brands of cranberry sauce in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, Hahner, do you want to go first or do you want to go last?
Oh, I'm gonna take the. I'm gonna just pluck right off.
Are we
the
roll?
tree.
We're rolling 4, right?
Yeah, it's 4 picks.
Okay.
So we'll be snake draft. So whoever's won will not get to pick until pick 6.
Yeah.
So whoever. So Cody, do you want to go first? You going right off the top? You taking pick 101?
Or are you taking back to back 3 and 4?
Or you're taking back to back 3 and 4?
No, I'm doing 1 right away.
Ooh, he's going.
Okay. What are you taking, Cody? So pick one of the weigh-in Thanksgiving foods. Once again, vote for these on social media, and we will figure out a
the
punishment.
best of
Yes,
the best.
The
right
best of
Well,
the best Thanksgiving foods.
I mean, this is like an easy roller generic. This is a Patrick Mahomes fantasy pick. We're going turkey right off the bat. Done deal. Are we talking specifics with turkey?
We got.
Or
go
we just-
specific.
You
Go
can be
specific.
specifics because there's not. I mean, there is a lot of different foods, but like if we're kind of
But
specific
really,
on
there's
a
not.
certain part.
No, well, I'm no chef here. I just devour. I don't.
Let's
I
say
don't-
this: if
Okay,
you go
turkey.
turkey.
you got
Yep,
to
we're
at
going
least
turkey.
you at least have to go white or dark meat.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You have to
White.
select one.
White meat.
Ooh, going white. Interesting.
I just eat it, dude. I just eat it. I
In my opinion, that was not 1 of 1. But okay, Pinkalla, you're up.
no.
I think there was a very clear 1 of 1, and I'm surprised it wasn't taken.
really.
Pink,
It
what
would
do
have
you
been my
got?
second pick.
I maybe shouldn't go with this, but I'm just gonna fire right out of here with just a nice thick boy gravy coming out the gate with the gravy.
I feel very happy right now. Do you want 3 C's on that thick?
Oh yeah, She's
Thick gravy.
Yeah, give me
I
a nice
do-
thick boy. All the salt you could ever imagine.
It does
Just
make
load it
like
up.
Yeah, because gravy, like you have to have it on your plate for
I mean, it's
every.
the kingpin of this whole situation. Everything's
It is.
good, but you know what you finishing it off with.
Okay, well, I'm taking what I thought was one of one immediately. Mashed potatoes.
That ain't shit without the gravy, boy.
See, I actually personally like mashed potatoes without the gravy more, the way my mom makes them. But I have to go
Just
mashed
like in a
potatoes.
funnel,
Man.
just feeding tube.
Like
There's
some
a lot of butter.
SpongeBob
There's a
looking type
lot of
stuff
butter
right
and sour
there.
cream on them.
Okay, I approve. Yeah, hella butter. I
Okay,
feel like
so
they're
I
more of
got
like a
mashed
heavy cream potato kind of situation for
Yes.
Thanksgiving,
So I'm gonna go mashed potatoes, and then second one, I'm gonna take. I think it's a little bit of a sleeper, but I think a lot of people would agree with me on this. I'm a big fan of green bean casserole.
Ooh.
I feel like that's a controversial one.
I do
Controversial.
like that one.
People are either
I'm with
on
you on
team
that.
green
That
bean
was
or
going
off.
to be a pick of mine. You stripped that from me.
I think it's a solid pick, though. I mean, it's just like you got half the people either way.
Yeah. Yep. Green bean casserole. All right. Pink. Number 2.
All right, I'm going with a sausage stuffing on this one. A nice pork sausage stuffing, little caramelized onion in there. You know what I'm talking about.
You would like pork sausage.
Yeah.
You want that on the graphic? Pork sausage specifically?
Pork sausage stuffing to go with my gravy.
That is a very good pick. Maybe the middle one was actually the better one.
Well, I don't know.
Okay,
I got a couple hanging out there. I'm
Cody,
waiting
you got
for it.
some back-to-backers here.
Okay. And so I'm gonna go, and it can be entree, side, dessert type deal.
Anything related
Food.
to Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving food. Big choice. Big choice here because he doesn't get swung around until the last pick after these two.
Oh yeah.
A lot of pressure.
All right. Okay. There's a couple that I was looking at. I am
Digging
going
deep
to
into
go
the second round picks here.
All right.
He is very
this is going to
stressed
be
out right now.
So we're going to look at. Okay, we're going to go because this is kind of a staple at our household. I don't know what it goes on with other people's households. Mac and cheese.
Ooh, that's a
as
good
a
one.
side.
Okay. We talking like cracker crumb topping or what?
Oh, is there another way?
Talk dirty.
Yeah, I know. Ryan appreciates a crackle crumb.
Oh, you know, give me a little crunchy.
All right.
Then
Pick 3.
So what do we have off the board? We have gravy, we have turkey, we have
Stuffing, mashed potatoes,
potato-
and green bean casserole.
green
are gone.
casserole. My next off the board is going to be pumpkin pie.
Ooh,
Pumpkin
solid
good
choice.
Pick. Damn
Okay.
good pick. Can't argue
Okay.
that pick. Good
Yep.
pick. Are you a whipped cream? Like you gotta have more whipped cream.
It
the whole
has to be
thing smothered. Yeah.
Heidi ruins me with sugar. We're sugar fiends in this household. Chocolate, whatever, doesn't matter.
Now, are you talking like spray out the can or like out the bucket, scoop on?
No, it's got to be. It's usually handmade by a grandmother.
Okay,
What about
wait.
Cool Whip?
Grandmother or a mother. It's
Cool Whip.
It's real cool whip.
Cool Whip.
Not out of a bucket. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, any of it that you put on it's really good.
I mean, it's all
Instant
unreal.
gas,
Yeah,
but my mom used to just give me the bowl of it, like when they knew there was enough left that I wouldn't kill myself with being able to eat it.
Yeah.
Like
And just
The
shove it
Hahner
down your
household's
throat.
just over there flexing,
yeah.
making
All right,
their
Pink.
own.
We know how to
Round
make
3,
desserts.
Pink, to go with your thick gravy and pork sausage stuffing.
Oh, so damn. This might be the wrong pick.
Ooh, here we go.
Oh, damn it. Well, this killing me right here. I know this is a solid pick if you'll allow it.
Okay.
So I'm just throwing it out there. So I'm just going with the classic leftover Thanksgiving feast
You
sandwich.
son of a
The leftover.
That
Are
is
you
a
saying
great
leftover
pick.
turkey sandwich, or
great
just
pick.
a leftover? The leftover sandwich.
The leftover sandwich.
That's a
Period.
very good pick.
Upset. I did not think of that one. Mm.
He's killing us, Hunter.
Yeah, he's
I feel like
destroying. We're literally
We're trying our best here.
We
okay.
need.
You're trying to stick me in this middle. I got to make it count.
We need Stolski up in the top row here, so we can fire.
I'm doing
shots.
it for both of us since he's not here.
I'm gonna go heavy on potatoes. I'm next one. I'm going cheesy potatoes.
Ooh, nice
like
pick.
the cheesy hash brown potatoes. You know what I'm talking about with the little
party
fry.
potato situation.
Yeah.
Nice. God damn, I love Thanksgiving food, eh?
Dude, I'm so excited.
Dude, I'm not even gonna be here, man. I'm gonna be living in a tent.
Yeah, we're gonna be
15 that means we'll
plus.
get another hour-long podcast of Pink telling us about his experiences. It'll be great. Yeah. That's what the people want. Actually, seriously, let us know if you want Pink to detail every second of his day out in the woods. I would imagine people loved it. I did.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
yeah. All right.
Anyways, to pick number 4, this is tough because there's some really good desserts left that I want to take, but I think there's another sleeper that kind of goes along with green bean casserole that I'm going to take, and I think Pink would take this. And there's only one time a year I think you really take it, and it's good. And I might get killed for this, but cornbread.
Ooh, okay. That's not where I thought you were going. That's not where I thought you were going with that. So,
I mean, Hahner obviously wanted it, but
I
feel like that's a good pick. It's
that
like the one time a year where you're like, you know, it'd be good piece of cornbread.
You know,
that's an interesting one because I feel like that doesn't hit my circle.
You're hitting a different geographic there. Like if we
demographic.
I think geographic because we're talking about different area of the United States. Demographic is a completely different thing. But
I feel like we're talking about the same place.
We're not talking about the same place. We're talking if we get Southern fans.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? If we roll like if we tell Alton Jones to watch all of his homeboys to watch this.
Yeah, then we got some cornbread roots.
Cornbread, yes.
Yeah, but 4th round, pick 4. Like,
man, it could be hit or miss.
Yeah, I thought it was a big pick.
It is a good pick.
Okay. All right, Pink,
we'll see how it pans out. All right, round 4, huh?
Yep, your last pick.
I think I got to go the dessert route here. I'm going with the peanut butter cream pie.
There you go.
Got to go there. Man. It's a crowd pleaser.
Sell it to me.
Nothing like little graham cracker crust, little hand whipped peanut butter filling, topped with a 2-to-1 ratio of the most unbelievable Hahner family secret recipe. Cool whip on top. A couple shavings of nice milk chocolate on the top there.
I feel like Randy Marsh from South Park right now. How about to risk it all?
Luckily, Pink Mike got muted there. Otherwise, we might have crossed a CDC not CDC, a seat whatever line.
There's some old boys listening right now, and they're like,
"Yeah, call her daddy." We're talking about Thanksgiving food over here. All right. Anyways, Cody, pick 4 around.
Bring it home.
Or pick 4, round 4. You're the last pick. We will do honorable mentions after this if we miss anything, but it doesn't count for the graphic and your picks.
Yes. All right. This is a favorite of mine. It's not a favorite in our household. I guess I could go with 2 ways, however you want to describe it. I don't know how they make it. I just eat it. But squash or candied squash.
Oh, yeah.
What's the ruling, Pink? Is that the same thing? We just put candied squash or what?
I feel like candied squash is more like Midwestern because we like, buttering up a little bit. I think that's more tasty of the morsels, but just me.
Pink got muted again. But yeah, no, that's good. I actually like that's one of the few foods I hate. I'm not a big squash guy.
Not
but
a
I
lot
can
of
see it.
yes,
I
not a
can
lot
see
of
it,
people.
yeah.
Not in our family, not a big one. But
Yeah.
for me, that's a winner.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to read through these like we did last time. Reminder, we will have a graphic up on social media going through these. Please give us some votes and also give us some feedback on what our year-long punishment will be. Next year around Thanksgiving, we'll do the punishment then. We'll just run it until Thanksgiving.
Okay.
However many of these we do. So hopefully we last that long, I guess. So give us
Before
some
we're
ideas.
canceled.
After we're
This
canceled,
will
lose
not
all our
age well.
sponsorships and everything. Yeah, this segment could age very poorly. But we've got Cody Hahner with white turkey meat, mac and cheese, pumpkin pie, and candied squash. That is a meal I would enjoy being at. Ryan, we have thick with 3 C's gravy, pork sausage stuffing. That guy, I fucking love stuffing, dude. It's so good. It
All right,
really
well,
is.
I already know who's gonna win on this one.
Leftovers. The big pick here that really threw everything in a loop was the leftover sandwich.
That was, I mean,
was big.
he won.
I mean, I feel like that
at
was
his second pick.
that
but
was
that
A1.
just like that took it over the top.
And then pick 4 peanut butter cream pie. Good pick. And then we got Bart coming in the end here with just clogging your arteries, basically. We've got mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, cheesy hash brown potatoes, and cornbread. That is a thick meal. You take like a 3-hour nap after that one.
All those things you
Dang.
just said, money in the bank.
So any things we
Lord
missed?
Stolski's not here.
The only thing I was going to say we missed, and this is why I was intrigued that you said white turkey meat, Cody. I honestly think turkey meat's kind of one of the worst parts of the meal. I do like turkey, but I love dark turkey meat personally.
Oh, that's weird.
I could be way off. Maybe I'm way off. I just like dark turkey meat.
It sounds like whoever's cooking your turkey should not be the one cooking your turkey then.
Yeah,
Could be. We had a really
I
good
don't
one
know.
last year. My dad smoked it. He did a really long brine, I think, and then smoke. I want to say he put it on the
turkey?
smoker for a long time.
I feel like there's a big divide between people that like you got the 3. You got the people that are smoking it. You got the people that are deep frying, and then you got the roasters.
Yeah.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
not a big roaster, to be honest.
No?
I think it's
we're a
fine. The
big
smoker was
roasting
really
Big
good.
roaster. Big roaster.
Yeah, big
here.
roasting family.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought the smoker was really good, personally.
If you said
What
you
else?
didn't like the turkey, you might have to switch over.
Yeah, apparently. Last year's was good. And then we've got the only thing I had listed that actually didn't get picked was I'm a big apple pie fan.
Okay.
I was gonna dig in if I needed that later, but apple pie is really good.
I was thinking apple pie, like between my 2 choices, but at the time I'm like, apple pie, more 4th of July with apple pie, but couldn't decide between the 2.
Pink, we got any we're missing?
I had a couple sides that I didn't call out. Just didn't need to dig that deep in the old bag there, but I did.
It ends. It does not end.
I mean, I guess like on my end, like one of the things, like we always do this, like a maple bacon Brussels sprout side thing. It's like a caramelized Brussels sprouts.
Do you have a cousin that I could like date for, like a couple days here real quick and get invited to your family's meal?
You'd probably be my plus one.
I mean, I take you.
He will.
You got a pretty mouth.
This show's gonna get canceled.
All right. So any what else you got, Pink?
And then just the straight up the sweet potato marshmallow, casserole situation.
Yeah, that one's good.
Pretty classic one.
We have no cranberry sauce fans in here.
Dude,
that's one of the. That's one of
just
those
so on it.
Yeah,
you just put it on the plate and then you just kind of like push it to the side and like
just kind of gets mixed in.
The edges.
It gets mixed in. Kind of just slides down with the gravy. You're like, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Well, that was another weigh-in segment, and I think find us on social media and you will be able to vote there. And also email us at pastthebarbpodcast@gmail.com. Email us different segments you want us to do. We got a bunch of different ones coming up. Got a bunch of different ideas. We can do some that are like our first one, the worst types of fishermen, or we can do some just straight up being honest, best Thanksgiving foods. Okay, and then our last segment to end, and I mean, this is kind of a personal favorite of mine. I think it's a personal favorite of a lot of ours, is notes on your phone. So this segment is literally solely based off of whenever we are out in society, things we notice or maybe things we encounter that we want to talk about on the podcast. Does anyone have one they want to lead it off with? I kind of got one that I think you guys are really going to enjoy, and it hit me the other day.
All right, why don't you just take it away? You just hammer it out right now.
All right, so I moved out to a town kind of out of the Twin Cities now. It's a small town, like less than 1,500 people. And there was a new gas station put in. A Quick Trip got put in.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like a big one. Like it's got the semi-diesel parking and everything, like one of the real big ones. They even have
the best restaurant in town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But anyways, what I wanted to get into at one, Quick Trip, we can just talk about how great Quick Trip is. But just in general, in the last 5 years, gas station advancements have been insane, especially like the coffee stations. Like you don't even like go get they brewed it in the back beforehand or anything. Like they're grinding beans now, like in front of your face.
The machine, you can
it's basically a restaurant, dude.
Yeah. It's so bougie. It's unbelievable. But yeah, I want to bring that up. Like, I mean, how far have we advanced? And still, here's the thing. To any of our Southern listeners, I'm sorry. The moment you pass the Mason-Dixon line and go into Kentucky or anything south, you only have Loves. That's it. Otherwise, I'm kind of scared of every gas station I go to.
I don't know, dude. There's a couple of them down there that are pretty close to Quick Trip. I wouldn't say quite on the level, but if you get in some of those bigger towns, they're showing out. They're showing out.
The Trip is just so dominant. It's like unbelievable. Like I think you could, like if you went on a national scale, I don't know that they could anyone could compete.
No,
I don't think so.
You know,
they're
more regional right now, but like, dude.
And the only thing that I think is even kind of comparable is with how big Quick Trip has exploded in the Midwest. If you haven't noticed, Casey's has done like a massive rebrand in the last like 2 or 3 years. They have like their own pretzels, like tea, everything, plus their pizza.
Their food is just not there though. As far as
I love Casey's pizza.
It's decent, but it's not the Trip.
You watch the one with Sobe and me. I love Casey's pizza. Casey's pizza is 10 times better than Quick Trip pizza. But
I wouldn't say 10 times, but
everything else at Quick
let's
Trip's
be real. Whose
better.
breakfast you taking every day? The Trip.
Casey's breakfast pizza.
The Trip. No.
Dude, you get one of them.
No, I do
get
agree.
One of
I
them,
agree with you guys. The sausage
waffle chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
Dude, and it just slides right down. Right
They're
in.
so good.
Unreal.
Yeah. No, it's just modern gas station advancements just continue to blow my mind.
Agree.
So that was one thing I had just thought of the other day when I was walking in. I was like, this is just unbelievable now. Especially there's like 12 locals who sit there now at the little window area in the morning and just drink. And dude, the first week it was open, it was the best. Like, how Midwestern are you? You just walked in there and there's just an old man like drinking his coffee, just kind of walking around looking at stuff. You just be in there for an hour.
I love it when they sit on like the 2 chairs that are actually set up for people to like sit and enjoy their coffee, which no one ever uses, but they know that one local guy is going to be sitting there.
Like they put that chair there for 10.
They literally put the plaque on the edge of the seat it's for
George and Larry. They've been coming there at 5:55 for the last 6 years.
And they're going to like comment on everybody's, outfits and the political race. And they're like, I'm like, I want to be that guy one day.
First frost of the year.
I hope.
Oh my God.
But yeah. Okay. Anyways, what do you guys got? You guys got a note on your phone? I do have another one, but we're gonna circle.
I do. Did we talk about Brittney Griner the last time we were on this?
No, we have not
No.
talked about the Brittney Griner situation.
Oh my
This is
gosh!
really
Because
interesting
all
for a
right, I was
podcast
wondering
about
if I brought it up because it was on my mind, and it was like, this is crazy,
dude. Didn't
This
she get?
is-
I'm not up to date on this, but didn't she get transferred into like a more restricted and tight prison,
All right,
or not
so
prison, but whatever it's called? Fill me in.
You saying playing World of Warcraft like brought this back into my
Whoa,
brain.
World
So-
of Warcraft. We're playing Modern Warfare here. Come on, chill out. I ain't
Oh,
a
sorry.
complete nerd.
Oh, totally wrong. Like Modern Warfare. Sorry, my bad. Like getting thrown in the gulag or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
No. This is where she's going.
Like, actually,
This is actually where she's going.
I shouldn't be
She's going
laughing, but
into
you're
a
yeah.
legitimate Siberian concentration camp. Like, they're making full-blown example out of her. And I'm watching it, just sitting on my phone. I'm like, dude, that sucks. But I'm like,
Yeah,
like flipping through the comments. I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're like totally making an example out of this girl. And no, she's totally in the wrong. But the crazy thing is that they're like taking this offense to the full extent and like completely making an example out of her just to like grind the gears of whatever, the black suits of America and the black suits of, Russia. But
for everybody else getting behind Ukraine when they decided to invade them randomly, and they're just like, "Oh, we have Brittney Griner. We're gonna not execute. We're gonna push her to every extent of the law as far as possible."
What were like the charges for?
She had like
it was like just a little bit of weed or something.
She brought in like a small amount of hashish oil, like in
that's
a vape,
what it was. Yeah,
vape pen. And which, I mean, if you're going over to Russia, like, I mean, maybe buy it from there. Like
they about to have
let's be careful. Let's be careful about what's going on. But the place that she's going, I've done some like little bit of research on where she's going. Dude, it is intense. Like, this is where people go to die. Like, this is hardcore, like Siberian prison camp shit, where she's going to be working 14 hours a day sewing while the TV and, the steam whistle is going, like blowing, and there's propaganda being blared in your ears. And she's sentenced to 9 years of this.
Holy crap.
It is crazy.
Like,
crazy.
Is there
That's
anything
brutal.
It is
the
like
U.S. or
blowing my
anyone can
mind.
actually do to like
No,
get
like,
her out or anything? Like, I'm not up to date on my foreign affairs. So.
I guess like this story, because once I heard where I'm like, oh, they're sensing, like I cared less, but then like I heard that they're sending her to a more like complicated prison camp, and I'm like, oh, what's this prison camp? And I started researching it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like the worst of the worst. This is like the real Russian shit. This is like crazy.
Like, the people that are in there are like they're like murdered people and stuff.
Yes. Or like Putin murdered their family and he wants to like store them away in this place. Type people. But basically he's like, well, you send us, a bunch of like these Russian spies and like warlords.
Trade back,
and it's like, oh, we're not gonna do that. But yeah, so it's just insane.
Wow.
Insane. If you look up those Russian, I forgot what the term is for it, but if you look up those work camps, I mean, there's some serious like, Nazi concentration camp type stuff. It's crazy.
Damn,
that they even exist.
Well, I guess if you're going to Russia, just like make sure you're dialed, because
or don't go to Russia,
because like
in Siberia, dude.
Yeah,
you being sent to Siberia right now, not in like May.
Right. Yeah. Like, this is like where you're thinking like the movie where it's just like snow and like it's a mountain and you're just like, this is where you are forever now.
Yeah, that was
Sorry.
that blew my mind that there was like places like that actually existed where they could televise that someone was actually going there. I thought those are places of like myth.
Yeah, I can't believe those are like actual real things still, and like, but
Yeah.
it's, and then you think of like just the world in general, and like when Ukraine got invaded, I remember kind of thinking about this type of stuff, just like of how you get very desensitized, I think, in America to like the rest of the world and like other cultures because we're kind of so obsessed with ourselves and everything going on here, that like you forget there's other places that there's just wild things, and then this happens and you're like, oh, that's wow, okay, yeah,
Like,
and
that's
you're like, wow,
actually a
there's
thing.
actually like some real shit going on out there.
Yeah.
TikTok is showing actual like, air raids and like,
Yeah.
planes being shot down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nuts.
Crazy stuff, man.
But all right, Pink, note
Continue
on your
on.
phone.
Let's
What
go
do
to
you
like
have?
fishing or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Pink,
All
what
right,
do you got for note on your phone?
I'll bring it home with a little more light topic.
I do have another one after too, but if you got another one on your phone, I don't
So
know if Hunter has another either.
I'll text you guys this pic right now. Maybe we can throw this up on the YouTube side of things here. So I'm not gonna say exactly where this was. You can find this if you want, but basically this is a sporting goods store that I ran into my last trip, and this is in their fly fishing department. They got this little shelf up here, and like I don't know if you guys ever worked at like a retail sporting goods thing or at all. So I used to do that, and it was like, the people that would come in with like issues, whatever, were always just like mind-blowingly like unskilled at some of the things that they were trying to do. So this fly shop, right? Yeah. So this fly shop, they have like, obviously people must bring their gear in there because they're like, hey, this isn't working right or whatever. And this particular one is a fly shop, and on the thing you can see where they like chopped off people's fly line and their leader and the knot that they tied, and they're like taping them on the wall like a trophy room. And then they have a little note on there that says, if your fly line to leader connection looks like these, please let us help, exclamation point. And then just like a trophy wall of just the worst knots you've ever seen in your life. Like
that is,
and they're like, they're obviously like pride themselves on keeping these.
Do they like get these from taking people out on guide trips or something, and someone like brought their own, or like people came in and were like, oh yeah, I'd fly a fish, like check this out, and then they like see it and just snip their line right in front of them.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to somebody, but they didn't have anybody in the fly shop that day or whatever.
Like,
but I don't know if it's like people that were bringing their equipment in to get it like worked on, and they were just looking at it and they're like, my God, and they just chop it off.
This would be so great if Stolski was here or at any
I
service.
know.
Wasn't dead.
I thought he would appreciate this one, but
he would love that. That is a very good one.
It would be awesome if more places did that, just like called people out on stuff that they're just so bad at. Like publicly like this. Like, it's not like they have people's name on there or anything, but it's like, I feel like more places should do that. Like, I want to walk into like Shields and like see this.
And if I'm going to try to put this on the YouTube video before we put it up, but if I forget, this is literally like the top shelf of a slat wall in like a fly shop. And they literally have a Post-it note with that message on it, and then just masking tape of old fly line dangling off. It looks really ratchet. And it's hilarious.
Like right in their like retail area too. Yeah. Like, right next to this is where they got all their like hand-tied flies and stuff, and all like the swank, everything Orvis, Sims, all this stuff. And then the shelf next to it is just this disaster zone.
I just like the one white one that might be 6 inches long.
It's got like 4 or 5
it's got
knots
4 different knots in it.
Yeah, it's just like, I'll put one quick square knot in it. That should seal it. And then like a bit later, they're like, I'll try it again.
Lots of knots.
No, for sure. That's a good one. No, and then I had another note on my phone. This is from a couple weeks ago, actually. We didn't get into another note segment, but I just had in my phone, and if people who know me, I'm a huge sports fan, but I always think, like, how can you not be like romantic about college football at certain times of the year? And the weekend of like Tennessee, Georgia, Bama versus LSU, Clemson versus Notre Dame, when like I was in California when Tennessee beat Alabama, like those types of things, like seeing those atmospheres, it's just like, God, I wish anything in the outdoors could get to that type of level. Like it is so cool.
Just like an electric vibe, like where it's just going off, like the energy is just next level, right? I mean, like you went to that game, that Minnesota game where like everybody stormed the field and everything.
Top 5 day of my life was storming the field when we beat Penn State that day. And it was, it's not maybe the biggest game in the world for anyone else, but like just the emotions you feel that day and like everything you go through, like it's so cool. And I mean, I think that's why a lot of us tournament fish and everything too, is to try to capture that. But like just that certain time of year in college football when that stuff is happening. And I always see people on like Facebook or Instagram and they're like, oh, I'm so sick of college sports and the political or propaganda or whatever the BS is. And it's just like, dude, it's a bunch of 18 to 20-year-olds playing football and it is fucking awesome. It is Death Valley at night in overtime and they just beat Bama and there's a bunch of drunk kids storming the field.
And they're taking the field goal post out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of ants.
It's just the
like
best.
Pushing it to the bar. They're literally ready to
like we have this
into the bar. And
it is the one place in modern society where you have 80,000 people all come together in one common goal and celebrate joyously together and like everything goes well. Like they carry out these goalposts. Like they're all just so joyously happy. It's just, I just love it. Like I love this time of year for that. Like all from now until March and April for March Madness. Like there's just always something happening and I just love it. Like I was just thinking that the other day watching college football, the Bama LSU was the one, like watching that go down. And then, I mean, with the Vikings game yesterday too, I mean, it's pro football, but the same thing. It's just like, I don't get people who don't watch sports or like any competitive stuff. It's like, I just don't understand.
No,
it just seems so boring.
And like, that's why it sucks that, fishing or like tournaments can't get to that level because we feel that same energy, as an individual, but it's hard to like showcase that energy, like that endorphin rush from like,
like tournament blast off doing 70 down a lake.
And like the same sacrifice that those athletes have put in, like the amount of time that they put in, and then to get that success, like you see it firsthand because you see the score, you see everything that goes on. Whereas like a fisherman, it's like, it's so individual and so personal that, that person feels it, but it's hard to, feel that as a fan.
It's just not this.
I think eventually it'll get there though. Like eventually,
I think
fishing's going to make golf level like hype.
They have to make some changes. They have to make some changes to showcase that, but I hope so.
I think they will get there, and I think it's like the live has really brought that up, and I think that's really going to help. And it's just like because I can think of certain moments in the last few years, like I think of the St. John's River event when the split first happened with like the Johnsons and stuff, like battling it out. I watching Jay Shakira catch 100 pounds, like that 100-pound race was awesome to watch. Like certain stuff like that. There's certain events every year that are just like unreal, and I think Bass does a really, really, really good job at doing that.
They're the best at it.
The biggest thing they need to figure out, and maybe it's a collective effort by people who, are regular sports fans too, and then fishing fans, but it's just figuring out how do you get an audience outside to watch it. But like people want to, like my roommate Jake, I mean, he didn't care about fishing or anything at all. But he would watch it because, he knew Ronnie and me. And then all of a sudden I'd walk in and he's watching FS1 and watching the guys at tournaments.
He's like a diehard fantasy fishing dude now.
Well, and I think the biggest thing they need to do is figure out how to, instead of having the morning all that FS1 slot, they should really just have it all on Bassmaster.com until 2:00. And then the last hour of the day or whatever it is, you put it on FS1. Just the last hour. And then you show the highlights from the earlier part of the day, everything going on to try to create that. But anyways, that was kind of my thing. Just one thing I had on my notes that.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
But Cody, did you have anything else, or are we out of notes?
No, I was going to bring up a note that you actually had that I thought was kind of cool. The MLF 5-fish, more specifically, they know their weight. Will this change the way guys fish? This has actually intrigued me a lot. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I do think that's a great thing. Like, good, and I mean, gonna be bluntly honest, we are gonna be very brash and reactional on this show. That's just the way we are. So when MLF first announced they were going to 5-fish and we tore them apart, like that's just how we were feeling at the point in time of doing it. And then I listened to a bunch of interviews after, and I was like, wait a second, maybe I was wrong. Because like thinking about it and hearing it, it could be really exciting.
Well, and they're maintaining the live leaderboard aspect.
Maintaining the live leaderboard aspect, knowing exactly where you are, and it almost, like, to be completely honest, it almost makes it more of a regular sport. Like, it really does,
totally change the decision-making part of the game. 100%.
The only thing I will be curious on with that is because there's $100,000 on the line, and these guys aren't making millions and millions and millions a year. These guys are trying to get a check. Someone's going to cut in on someone on a hole.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're going to see where they are.
But I think that's what they want, right?
And it is going to create a lot of drama.
They want the controversy and drama.
And it's going to be good. It's going to be great. Dude, but Cody brought it up another episode. We need rivalries. And it is going to make some bad ones.
I'm going to throw this out there. Just opinions on this from you guys. So how do you think this plays? Because there are several guys that have become pretty consistently good in the current format of, catch, release, every fish counts type of thing.
Yeah, Wheeler.
Like, do you think that this throws them for a loop, that they're not going to probably be in that same position now, that they're now fishing for 5 bites?
Not Wheeler. I wouldn't
Wheeler's
say
still
Wheeler's
one of the best in the world right now, if not the best.
Yeah, Wheeler's unbelievable. Like
the one thing I think, ridiculous. And it'll be interesting because he hasn't fished 5 fish in a while, but he never really ran away with events when he was around the 5 fish, other than Chickamauga and the one cup he won, if I remember right, on the buzzbait. He won by quite a bit, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think it'll be really interesting to see.
I just feel like there's going to be some different guys that emerge, at least at the top.
The one thing I think will happen is guys like, I can't even think of some of the guys still on the BPT side right now, but there's going to be some guys who are controversial and just don't really give a shit that are going to roll up on Wheeler and throw him off. And I'm very intrigued to see how strong his mental game is when he's going to get messed with by people. Because he is going to get messed with a lot, but he's still one of the best in the world. So it's going to be interesting.
I don't know if I'm a fan. I think I have a huge respect for him and his game. Like, just because, I mean, the guy is undeniable. Like, he's just put in, like, his work is just unbelievable, like next level. Like, if he's not the best that there ever is or ever was, like, he's going to be. But I think it's going to be so cool that the aspect that now that they can see what the leaderboard is, I think the whole risk factor of the 5 fish limit, where a guy can make an 80-mile run after like sitting by the ramp and he might be like in 9th place or something like that, making that 80-mile run hunch to go for a win, like that extraordinary, like,
it's just going to be cool because you're actually going to know
much better.
You're going to know
people are going to
I'm 2 pounds away and the bite is terrible because nobody's catching them. I'm going to put a giant swim bait or glide bait or blade bait or whatever it is in my hand.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go swing. Or I'm going to go run as far as I can up this creek. And there's going to be a lot of bozo decisions. Yeah. And there's going to be some miracle decisions.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sets the table for there to be like major heroics, like in any event, because they're going to do something they wouldn't normally.
To be completely honest with it, the more I've thought and watched it, I've been like, oh, they just did this because they were irrelevant and everything, which is 100% true. They totally have stumbled into what I think probably will end up being the new form of professional bass fishing we're going to roll into because of the excitement level. Like, it is going to be sick. I still don't like their stupid 2 days and then cut and weird stuff going on there. But if you bring it down to a regular 4-day, 5 fish, you're going to know where people are at and the weights, and you can dictate your decisions off of that. And it's going to create some stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be sick.
Bummer for like the anglers, but I think that it really gets better if there are like on the water, like guys competing for spots and that kind of thing. Like, I'm sure it'd be frustrating as hell to compete in that world, but people want to see it. And this is going to open the door for it.
I thought this, like, as soon as they got into BBT, those guys who were, we looked up to that were legends just got comfortable and more or less lazy with, where they were at. Like,
getting a paycheck.
They're just getting a paycheck, going home. And maybe that's not the case. I don't know. But it for me, like, those guys who were just dominating at Bassmaster, like, just all of a sudden just kind of like took a seat back and they're like, well, I'm here.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens. I don't really care. And they just lost like all their fire. They lost all of it. And they lost the cool aspect of the sport. So I think this 5 fish like system is definitely going to put them on the right track again.
No, it's going to amplify the drama and everything so much. Like, I like dead serious. I'm actually like, I haven't tuned into much MLF BPT over the last 4 or 5 years. I tried, I really did, and I just couldn't keep up with all the days and everything. But when they get to those final 2 days and it's going to be cut down and guys are going to know where they are and they're fishing for 5 and big ones, I'm going to be tuning in. Because guys are going to know right where they're at. And if they're 1 pound back and they know they just got to get rid of a 2-pounder and go get a big one, watching what decisions they make, knowing that for a fact, compared to having a hunch that they think they're around there, is going to be really cool.
Yep.
Well, like, dude, put it in the terms of, like, remember that classic where it's a shootout, Jason Christie, Edwin Evers, and somebody tells Christie that Edwin's got him.
Yeah, some random bystander
fell off, dude.
Like, and I think that that's what's going to make it so good.
Edwin's like, got 25.
Christie.
Yeah,
Edwin's got 25.
What?
And all of a sudden, he's like running into docks, dude. He like,
like one of the best anglers in the world, dude.
Swirling around cables. I'm like,
fell apart.
Like, what is going on?
It's like, going to create the coolest drama. It's going to be awesome. I'm actually a really big fan, and I think all of it's going to end up going that way. And then everybody's going to say, well, how do you save weigh-ins and everything? I still think what you end up doing is like what Bass does at Lake Fork. Obviously, at Lake Fork, you have to, put fish back immediately. But if people know where they're at and you're putting them in your box, then I think ultimately all you do is at 2:00 with an hour left is you cut it. And then you say you have to see the winner at weigh-in. And if people are watching that and those guys know where they're at till there's 1 hour left and then you cut it, that's it. I think that's the recipe after seeing all this other stuff and you have weigh-ins still that way. You still have people bring them in and show them off. They'll still just weigh based on in their boat maybe, but the toughest thing is going to be marshals and that whole weighing on the boat type of thing. But having done the Champions Tour and Classic Bass up here, like it can definitely be done. But yeah, I thought that's a good thing to bring up, Cody, because we definitely attacked them immediately right off the board when they made that decision. But unlike other people, we can admit maybe we were a little brash and quick on that decision.
Well, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say that we're brash because they deleted an entire series. But I think this is a good idea.
No,
and I think we will
stand by our statement that the fact that they did this to try to dig out of a lot of really terrible decisions and cutting a whole series. However, the idea they stumbled into was really good.
Was a good idea.
Yeah, however, I don't even know if it was intentional, but it just turned out good. maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Blind
maybe.
squirrel finds a nut.
Yeah, maybe
well,
they
and put it-
stumbled on this.
We don't know what it looks like yet. Like, it sounds good,
Yeah, it could end up being terrible.
but yeah,
We're not letting you win this one quite yet.
yeah.
MLF.
Yeah,
But it could be sick. So.
But
we
it could
will
be
give
cool.
props. We'll give props where
Show
it's due.
us.
I will
Yeah.
tune in.
Yeah.
It could be very
We're
cool, especially
watching.
with the schedule they have next year. Like, it could be very cool. But do we have anything else, guys?
I don't think so, man. I'm tapped out on the notes, man.
All right. I think we're all good. Well, thank you everybody for dropping by and checking out the new podcast, Past the Barb. Once again, if you want to get a hold of us, we have all our social medias. Please rate, subscribe, share this with your friends. We're just planning on, chatting the outdoors, whatever's going on in life, kind of like all of us do whenever we're hanging out, and I don't know, just having fun with it. So if you got any topics you want us to talk about, hit us up. Otherwise, this has been another episode of Past the Barb, and we will see you next time.